Baby, stop running in that job as soon as you get to work. Stop running in that job as soon as you pull up. Take you 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to just pray to God you get a better job. No, but for real, like, I'm a hard worker, dedicated worker. I give it all, okay? One thing about me, I'm finna give 150,000%. But what you got to know is that your mental health and your mental peace is important too. Sit there. Sit in that environment for a second when you pull up and say, do I really want to be here? Are you grateful to be here? Be grateful, because there was a time you was praying for that job. But at the same time, like, just take a moment to yourself and breathe. Breathe. Think about, okay, how I'm going to handle my day. How am I going to not let these people get to me? How am I going to go above and beyond? How am I going to grow in my role? What am I learning from this job? What do I want to do with this job? Do I want to stay here? Do I want to take these skills and go somewhere else? Whatever it is, take a moment and stop running in there, because you already giving these people 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours of your day. Breathe.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Does anyone else ever question why life is so hard? Like, everything right now is just genuinely crazy. I can't even go pick up food without somebody losing their shit in a restaurant. Everybody's scraping change to get gas in their cars. And forget about trying to find a place to live. Where I live, you literally can't move anywhere unless you have 10K. I don't know how anybody survives right now. How are you guys surviving? Because I don't know how I'm surviving. Is everybody like living with their family members right now, or have roommates? Like, I just don't see how anybody working a minimum wage job could possibly afford to live anywhere. And then you have the people that can't afford to live in nice places, buying all of the houses and then tripling their income for rent. I wish we could go back to like 2015, where everybody could actually afford to go buy a case of eggs at the store. So yeah, I guess basically I just wanted to check in on everybody, and I hope you're all doing okay.
It doesn't take superhuman pattern recognition capabilities to be able to see what's going on here. Every few years, whenever society starts to make headway with anything, the ruling class decides that we need another recession. You heard the billionaires talk about this last year. They could use a little recession. So I'm just sitting here minding my business and working and trying to survive. And oops, we have a recession. And the thing is, they're not going to call it a recession for 3 more quarters. So every time it just drags on. Meanwhile, most of us are just sitting here like, bitch, we've been in recession. And then it's going to take maybe another 5 years to recover from it if we're lucky. Like, I'm done, y'all. I can't do this anymore. I was class of 2008 in college. I'm not doing this anymore. It's time to take our money back.
So I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but I'm honestly stressing myself out. Like, basically, I had a good amount of money. I transferred it out of my account so I didn't spend it. So I left myself like $200 to last me for like 2 weeks, which isn't that bad if you know what to spend your money on, or if you're not spending money at all. But the thing is, now I'm down to $14, and this is my pay week, but I'm still down to $14. So in my brain, I feel like I'm broke, and I can't go nowhere, I can't do anything because I don't have no money, because I only have $14 to spend. Even though I have that amount of money that I transferred over still in another account, and I have money in different places. So technically not really broke, but because I only gave myself a certain amount, I am broke. And although this method is gratifying, I am stressed. I'm stressed because now I'm like, how do I make $14 stretch for the next 5 days? In this economy, at least. Even though realistically and in hindsight, I don't have to. That money wasn't really going to my savings. It was just out of my account just in case. So I just stressed myself out for no reason.
I feel like the only reason that y'all think a 1-bedroom for $1,400 is okay, yes, because y'all are from big cities and big states that a 1-bedroom is $2,200 to $3,000. The reason that y'all think that $1,400 rent is okay is because y'all got. Y'all got got by inflation. Y'all got by the economy. Y'all got by the government. Y'all succumbed to the peer pressure that they put on us, making us feel like that $1,400 is good. Like, you feel me? It's not 10 years ago no more, but 10 years ago was literally 2015, 16. That felt like yesterday. It was 2-bedroom apartments, 1,100 square feet for $900. 1,100 square feet for $900 to $1,000. And you think I'm gonna be happy because the world is shit now and a 1-bedroom is $1,400? Oh, let me take it. What? Man, if I can't find nothing for $900, I guess I'm gonna be living with my mama for the rest of my life. It is what it is.
Hey, so like life literally sucks right now. Our economy is... Don't ask me for what you should do, honestly, because I'm going to tell you to still get your hair done. I'm going to tell you to still get your nails done. I'm going to tell you to still buy that cute outfit with the super cute new shoes. I'm going to tell you to spend the money. It's going to go towards something later this week, later next week, that you're mad you're spending it on. Girl, spend the money on what you want to spend it on. Go get a massage. Go fill up your tank. That's responsible, you know? But so is getting your nails done, because am I supposed to walk around here with no nails? Because he want to put tariffs on things? No. Still gonna be an addict.
Okay, y'all, I am pissed. And yeah, I'm coming on here to talk to you guys about it. I'm so tired of being broke. I have done all the right things. And I am working as much as I can, being a single mom, trying not to take away more time away from my child. So I'm doing TikTok, and I am trying to do as many lives, but get enough sleep so I'm healthy for my child, but also find a time to work out, find a time for me. That's not including any of those things. And I just had to freaking take out a loan to buy groceries. Like, I had to use a firm and pay interest for my bare minimum fucking groceries. And you know what, for everybody that is going to be like, it's your fault for being a single mom, it's your fault for being in debt. It's not. Like, and I know that. I know it's not my fault, and I know I'm doing everything. But it doesn't make it any better. Like, the fact that for bare minimum groceries, I am now having to pay a monthly thing, and I had to make it the smallest amount because I don't have any extras. So I had to make it the small amount, so I'm going to be stretching this over a freaking year and paying $12 extra each month because I don't have extra dollars. And then next month I'm going to be even more debt because now I have this added on top of it. But I'm going to need more groceries after this week to feed my son and I. Like, I don't get how people are surviving. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And I know I'm not the only one. I needed to come on and say it. Okay, thanks.
When you finally feel like you're ahead in life and on money, and whoa, hold up, wait a minute, life throws you a curveball, and no, you're not. You have to go spend so much dollars on a alternator, and then, oh no, you have to pay in on your taxes, and then a bill that was supposed to come out so many months ago did not. Okay, that could be on me for not double checking, but that's besides the point here. Oh, and then there's that surprise medical bill that just happens to show up the same week. Oh, and then I forgot too, you gotta pay so much for a field trip, and book fairs are going on. It's like you want to ask the universe, why me? Like, who did I offend in my past life? What did I do? Anybody else feel the same way sometimes?
Here's the thing. I don't want anybody to struggle. I don't even want myself to struggle. I don't want my fellow TikTokers to struggle. Anybody who knows me, I will give the shirt off my back to you in a heartbeat just to make sure you're okay. That was not the point of this video. That is not my intention, or was my intention. I'm just simply stating that there is a new group of people out there now who've never gone through this before that are now experiencing what we've been experiencing our whole entire lives. I did not grow up rich by any means. I'm still not rich by any means. What is the definition of rich? I don't know. What is the definition of poor? It's all about perspective, right? In my video, not once did I call out on that nurse for being selfish or entitled. I never used the words white privilege. I never degraded that woman to that point. I simply was making an observation as to the newly poor that are coming onto the scene. They're like little lost puppy dogs. They don't know what to do right now because they've never been stuck in that situation. Versus people, the OGs, this is the life that we consistently live. It's what we're accustomed to, what we know, even if we're better off now. Because I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people out there that grew up poor, extremely poor, and now are in a better position. They may not be rich, but they're not struggling the way they used to. The poor me syndrome, I struggled, so you can struggle too. I don't want anybody to struggle. In fact, I would rather people be upfront and go, hey, what is it that I can do to make the situation better? So I don't have to feel like this. Because it's really all a matter of feeling insecure about tomorrow. Think about that. It's about being insecure about tomorrow. What will tomorrow bring? Is there going to be some form of an emergency that I'm not going to be able to get myself out of? That is something that is universal. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You don't know what's in store for you. You are not promised tomorrow. You are promised today, the present. The future is yet to be seen. So I can appreciate your comments. I see you. I understand you. I do. Is the system flawed? Pfft, absolutely. I will be the first one to admit that the system is extremely flawed. What is the American dream? For the fuck if I know, because honestly speaking, I know plenty of people that make way more than me, and they too are struggling. What is it that we're really after? What is the American dream? I'm not so sure anymore. We're all just on this earth trying to survive. Plain and simple. And I truly do feel for that nurse. That feeling of insecurity is terrible. Especially if you have a family and you have responsibilities that you need to take care of. Because one minute you can have a job, and the next minute it could be gone. But I thank you for your comment.
If she's bringing up financial problems to you, it sounds like she's poor. Because why aren't your problems on auto pay? It sounds like there's no inheritance on that side. Instead, you're about to inherit a lot of problems.
Listen, y'all, I know that I'm not even big on social media or anything like that. Definitely not here on TikTok, but does anybody besides me ever get like just bummed out when you see like all these people on here and they're like living their dream and living their best life and buying cars and houses and going on trips and like all this stuff? And that's great. I'm happy for them. It's not their fault that they're successful, but it's just hard living day to day and being a single person who is trying to get out of debt and trying to do the right thing. And it just kind of seems like no matter what you do, it's like you don't qualify for help unless you make a certain amount. And then if you make too much, it's like there's nothing available to you. And it's like you just kind of have to just do whatever. And it's so heartbreaking. And I know that there's people that have it worse than me. I understand that. Like there's literal floods going on right now. There's like chaos, planes are crashing. And I realize my issues are teeny tiny compared to that. But I mean, does anybody else like me? You just get discouraged sometimes and you just feel like, when am I ever going to get above water? Like get my head above water, you know? Just a thought.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's continue the video.
There is no freaking way I'm the only one dealing with this right now. Literally was just celebrating, being thankful for everything that I have worked so hard to finally achieve. Being a girl boss, working for myself, starting my online business, just getting to a place where I can start to put the money back into my savings because obviously I had to empty it in order to start my own platforms. And that's when shit starts happening. I show up for my drill weekend because I'm in the reserves, and then they start talking about deployment. I don't have time for that, okay? I have things going on. I'm trying to settle down. I'm trying to actually live in my apartment, and you want to talk about deployment? But you know I'm resilient, so I say, okay, sign me up. Where are we going? Whatever. Driving home to start thinking about how the freak am I going to make this happen, and then I hit the biggest lip construction thing in the road. I don't know why they don't smooth these out when they go scraping up the concrete. Broke both of the dampers on the front steering of my Jeep. So now I've got the death wobble where I can't even control my steering wheel and I think I'm freaking about to die because it's shaking like this. But like I said, I'm resilient. So what do? I go to Firestone. 4 hours later, they finally figure out what happened, to which they tell me, ma'am, it's going to cost $675. Where am I supposed to get this from? But like I said,
I'm resilient, and I'm an American Express card holder. So what do? I charge it. But I forget that I've already charged so many other things. So now we have quite a large bill that's due at the end of this month. Well, Christmas is here. Traveling is happening. Where am I supposed to come up with this money? I have to figure something out. Somebody tell me, how are y'all surviving? How are you living? Put me on, because I need help.
Hey, it's a Wednesday evening, and I just wanted to put this out there. You know, in life, you're going to go through struggles, ups and downs, and it's just what life, is about. No one's life is perfect, but I've noticed that a lot of people seem to be jealous of other people because someone may have more than you. But you really don't know what a person really has or who they are, just based on maybe they drive a nicer car than you, live in a bigger house than you. That doesn't mean anything. And I think when we start comparing ourselves to other people, you become unhappy. And the reason that is because comparison is the thief of joy. It makes you feel less when you compare yourself to other people. And you always have to remember that you are not like other people. You are your own unique individual self. There are no comparisons. There are none. You have your own unique advantages that other people may not have, regardless of how big their house is, how much money they make, or what kind of car they drive. And in life, as they always say, you don't get to take it with you when you go. And life is short. So I always say, don't compare yourself to other people, because you're going to make yourself miserable. What you should do is do the best that you can do as a person, and you're only in competition with yourself. And when you realize that, you're going to make yourself better, and you're actually going to make yourself more happy, than you are. You're going to reach a fulfillment of joy. And always look on the other side, whereas most people only look at the negative, because there's always two sides to everything. There's a black and white, there's a yin and the yang. And there's a reason for that. It's because it creates balance. So don't compare yourself. You'll be much happier if you don't. Remember, the struggle is real.
Guys, one of the things I have learned throughout these years I've been on this earth is to make better choices and stop worrying about everybody else. Worry about your own life. And year after year, you should be making better choices about your personal life. You only have one life. You only have one chance. And as you make a series of great choices, that is when life becomes sweet. That is when lives improve. When you make good choices for your life, for yourself. Good choice after good choice after good choice tends to be good results after good results after good results. But it takes some strategy. It takes some planning. It does take work. It does take research. Do your research. Investigate before you invest. And as you make better choices over time, your life will significantly improve. And as it improves, other people will become envious of you now. But the key is good choices. The real key is good choices. That's about it.
All the people that got 3, 4, 5 jobs. How the hell y'all do that? How the hell y'all do that, man? Look, we all know that the economy's real bad. The economy's so goddamn bad. It's almost like you can't even survive off a goddamn one job no more. But to all the people, and I got friends that keep telling me, oh man, you need to why don't you get a second job? Why don't you get a third job? Why don't you get a fourth job? For fucking what? For what? It still ain't gonna pay the goddamn bills. Y'all stop killing yourself over these goddamn jobs. You got 3, 4, 5 jobs, and you can still barely afford to pay your goddamn rent. I need my rest. My rest comes first. I need my rest. I need my rest. I need my rest and my sleep. I'd be damned if I'm gonna give up my health and my sleep and my rest and my sanity for some goddamn 3, 4, 5 jobs and still barely afford to pay the goddamn bills, still barely afford to live. At this point, I know it sounds crazy. I'd rather sleep in my goddamn car. I'd rather sleep, get an RV or something like that. Y'all don't kill yourself for these goddamn jobs.
It's so funny when you're already at the lowest point in your life and shit just keeps getting worse. Like shit just, that you didn't even think about going bad, just happens. And it's just like, wow, nothing's getting better. I don't know. I'm waking up every day, going to work, and it's like, for what? For what? My life fucking sucks. This shit is not working. It's not working. It's not getting better. I'm doing everything I can, and it's not fucking enough. And I'm alone. I don't have no friends. I don't have no family. I don't have nothing. I don't have anything. I'm literally on the internet screaming into the abyss because I don't have anybody or anything. What the fuck?
Being in your 20s is supposed to be fun. This shit is not fun. This shit is not fun. This shit is not fun. I haven't had fun since I became an adult. Since I turned 18, nothing was funny. Nothing was fun. Literally, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I feel like I had to grow up before my time and I never really had a support system for real until probably like a year ago is when I actually started having like some support and some help. But like, I don't know. None of this shit has been fun. I have not been young and turned. I have not been nothing. I have been stressed and motherfucking depressed. So to the people out there in their 20s that actually get to enjoy your 20s, be grateful, because a lot of us out here are in hell.
Nobody on this earth can convince me that life is supposed to be this hard for this many people in this fucking economy. We shouldn't have to worry about picking up 2 jobs, 5 side hustles, and stripping on the side. It's too much. I should be able to just feel free, don't feel pressure, don't feel stressed. I should just be able to walk outside, pick a apple off the tree, being able to eat it without worrying about somebody poisoning me. If I fall short on rent, there should be some type of community where I can probably borrow it. I don't know, it's just becoming too much, and I'm just kind of aggravated. I mean, I do what needs to be done, but in my era growing up, this shit was not that difficult. You had a job and you was good. And when I was like focusing on leveling up in life, I'm gonna tell you one thing that I did. If a bill was due, I did not stress about it. I just said, fuck it, I'll pay the most important bill, and then I get the money for the rest of that shit later. I'm not about to stress about no goddamn bill that we shouldn't even be paying. Who the fuck came up with the concept of money? I hope they ass dead and gone right now, because y'all should have just kept it at the barter system. Like, I don't know, this shit is aggravating.
Y'all know what I've been reminded of over the past 2 weeks that I've always known, and it's actually pretty frustrating and sad, that there are a lot of people in this world in managerial positions that are not leaders and that do not have an ounce of customer service training in them. And it's actually pretty sad, because there's people at the top of the totem pole that, number one, can't write grammatically correct emails and don't know how to lead a team truly. They know how to bark orders. They know how to be disrespectful. They know how to be condescending. They know how to be rude. And they know how to shift the blame when they're not doing what they're supposed to do in regards to supporting their team, so their team could produce the best results that they need or that they require as a department, as a establishment, as a company, as a whatever. It's actually pretty sad and frustrating when you realize, like, these people are managers, but they can't manage. They can't. And it's like supervisor, manager, director, president, vice president. Oh my God, there's so many people in these positions that just their way to the top, that just kiss all the way to the top. And it shows. Oh, it shows, baby. It really, really does. And it's so sad. And that is why it's so important to make sure that you work on yourself outside of these professional settings. Because, yeah, you got that managerial title at work, but outside of work, you can't function. Outside of work, you're nothing. Outside of work, your opinion doesn't matter. Nobody values you. They really don't, besides the people who you fake it to every day. But the people who really know you, your team, we know you ain't you got that position just off the strength. And it's really, really sad. And I think we need to bring back having certain qualities prior to just putting certain people in certain positions. Because, baby, the ship is sinking, and the ship is sinking fast. But then again, look who we got for a president. There's no hope for us, y'all. There's managers that need to go back to school. Oh, God. Fix it, Jesus. All we can do right now is pray for the children. That's all we can do. Because
Dude, I know I'm not the only one whose need to work doesn't supersede my wanting to go into work. You get what I'm saying? I know I have to go into work. Like if I want to eat food, right? If I want a roof over my head, if I need to pay the bills that I have to pay, I know that I have to go into work. Like I physically got to get my happy ass out of this car, walk into the building, clock in. Hey guys, how's it going? Like I had to do that whole part just to get paid to make money. But it doesn't really mean I want to. I don't really think that makes me a lazy person or not a driven person, okay? I'm not an ignoramus. I know how life works. If you want to get anything out of life, you got to put some effort in, okay? But still, if the choice you're giving me is between going into an environment where I have to serve the general public or stay at home in my chonies and order some DoorDash while I watch reruns of How I Met Your Mother, hello, I think we have my better option there. But it does have me questioning things, okay? Because I work in the service industry, and when I go into my job in the middle of the day, I'm talking on like a random Tuesday, how is it busy, right? Like, I don't understand what all of you people are doing to where you can go eat out at like 12:30 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon and it be busy. I'm talking like there's a wait to get into my restaurant. Like, none of you have jobs. Like, what are you all doing out here in your life to where you can afford to go out to sit down and eat at a restaurant when y'all should be out there working these jobs? Hey, look, I'm not complaining, okay? Money is money, and Lord knows I am a stage 5 level slut for those tips, okay? But it still doesn't make you wonder, what are these people doing to where you can come into a restaurant in the middle of a work week, okay? To where you don't have a job to go to, you can come in and engorge yourself on some of this greasy, overpriced food, okay? That's the kind of life I want to be living. I don't want to be working during the weekday. I want to be enjoying that kind of lifestyle too. So, give me some information here. Throw me a business card, throw me a bone, something. Yes, in conclusion, okay, all I'm saying is that it's getting harder and harder with every passing day to wake up and decide whether or not I need this job enough, or if I'm just content with getting rid of everything that I own, finding a nice little corner on the beach, and just seeing what the fuck happens for the rest of my life.
I don't know if anyone else is feeling this way, but my will to work currently is at an all-time low. And I don't know if it's because I just got back from vacation or daylight savings just ended, but shit is not getting done. If at default I was at like a 1 out of 100, then right now I'm feeling like a negative 50. You know what's crazy? I don't even hate my job. Maybe it's because it's the holiday season and it doesn't feel right just working through the holidays. Or maybe it's just espresso depresso season since the sun sets at freaking 5 p.m. and there's no daylight for me left after work, but shit sucks.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I say the hardest part about working, it don't even matter what job you're doing. The hardest thing I'm learning so far is dealing with people. In general, it don't matter if it's your coworkers, your boss, your manager, the customer. It's just dealing with people in general. Me and like in my experience, just dealing with people is part of it's like my coworkers. Like this is one dude, yo, that I work with. He be half doing everything, yo. Excuse me. Yeah, he be half doing everything, and now it's like I'm getting to the point where I'm like the lead guy on like certain jobs and stuff like that, and because he be like half doing stuff, it be falling back on me, and then I gotta like do more work because of him, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy, and it be pissing me off because I gotta go back like behind him and check if he's doing stuff right or things like that, or I gotta hear like I gotta pay for what he didn't do from like my managers and my boss and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, this is just wild. this is wild. And then dealing with customers, that's a whole different story, yo. Cause you really never know what you're dealing with. You don't know if they coming in on a bad mood. You really never know. So my working experience so far, ever since I think I started working. I started working at 16. Yeah, I started working at 16. I say the hardest part about working is dealing with people. Honestly, yeah, that gotta be definitely like top 3 for sure. Right now I'm just like trying not to let it get to me. I'm trying not to like let that get to me, cause that's not really something I can really control. And I'm like, yo, God, he is really testing me, cause I don't like dealing with people like that sometimes. Like, I don't know, I'm a friendly dude, don't get me wrong, But it's like I can separate myself from a situation if people start acting crazy or whatnot, kind of thing. And it's just, I got to start dealing with all different types of personalities, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, it's very different for me. Very, very different from me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like being like a manager or whatnot, or, you know, having to manage people or starting to manage people. I really don't like being in those positions. I ain't gonna lie. But it's something new, and I'm just, I don't even know what to say. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, my thoughts. So
you don't have to be underpaid to be overworked. You know, there's this notion that the only people who are overworked are people who can't afford to pay their bills. But there are plenty of people who make really good money and they are overworked as well. They end up in the hospital for the same reasons that poor people end up in the hospital. So I wish we would stop acting like capitalism affects us differently in that way, because it doesn't. When people are overworked, whether because they feel like they need to or because they don't have enough money or whatever reason, people do it for different reasons. But the fact still remains that capitalism affects our bodies in the same way. It may be for different reasons, but we go through the same things. So, you know, it's a trip that we try to act like we're so different from each other. When, yeah, being overworked, that can be any of us. Lawyers can be overworked. Doctors can be overworked, and they make great money, you know. So it's just like, don't think just because you're not paid enough where you work that you're the only people that are susceptible to being overworked and ended up in the hospital, because your body just can't take the work and the stress load. You know, our bodies do heal themselves. They are always trying to heal themselves from living, but there's only so much they can take.
When people ask me if I'm bored being unemployed or working remote, my answer is no. I'm exhausted. Being a single girl in their 30s is so busy. I wake up, I have my Roomba started, I have to put the dishes away, I have to wash the dishes, then I have to cook myself breakfast, then I have to eat the breakfast, then I have to go outside and smoke to deal with all of the tasks I have to do. Then I'm waiting for a bread delivery on the way, and then after this, from 11:30 to 2:30, I have to go outside because the UV is going to be only 5 at that time. So then that means I have to go to get my Adderall from Costco after I go to finish the UV at 2:30 without hitting the traffic that Miami traffic would bring if I went at 5 o'clock. So then I have to go from 2:30, and then I get back at 4, and then I have personal training at 4:30, and then I have to watch The Bachelor tonight. Like, I'm fucking busy.
Okay, stop whining. Come on now. That is a part of life. You have things to do and goals to accomplish. It's a part of life, honestly. And if you don't want to drive, then order your stuff to your house or to your apartment if you don't want to drive. Like, if you just want to have your time back, strategize your day. And if you really want to have your time back, all you have to do is just work hard and make a lot of money per year and have a personal assistant who does these things for you. That is when you have your freedom back. If you can pay another person to do what you don't want to do. But if you do not have the funds for that lifestyle, please stop complaining and just do it. If you do have the funds, amazing, and God bless you.
So I went to an interview the other day, and the interviewer was like, oh, do you have any questions, like anything for us? And I was like, yeah, how do you support your staff's well-being, and what kind of like flexible work policies do you have in place? And in terms of the well-being, his answer was, well, we have like a team lunch every month, okay, and then yeah, that was it. He was basically like, yeah, in terms of like any other mental health stuff, I don't really know, honestly, but I'm sure we have some things in place. So he had no clue, and I was like, okay. And then in terms of like flexible working, it's 5 days in the office, so I'm not really seeing where it's flexible. But yeah, I just found it really interesting, very interesting.
I'm up working, and this is the first time I've ever had like a hybrid situation like at a job, but I'm also like not going to be hybrid by January because I'm moving to where I work currently. Right now it's like a really bad commute, so I only go twice a week. But I literally just started, and like I was so happy and grateful to leave my old job. Like, please don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful. I understand the circumstances of like the job market and everything, and like I'm totally aware, and I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or like annoying, but in my last job I felt really trapped because I didn't like it, and it was just not good for me. It wasn't serving me, and that's why I'm not like sad that I left it, and I don't want to go back, it was kind of like flexible, like a little more flexible, and like I felt like I could kind of just like make a plan, and it would, like, whether it's like time off or like for sick like stuff, or not sick stuff, but like appointments or whatever it was, and like it would work. And I feel like with this job, like it's gonna be way harder, and the PTO was like not good at all, and I knew someone at this job, so that's why like I got it. And again, super grateful. But I think like I've just been like having so much anxiety because I feel like so out of control of my own life because of work. And I think it'll happen with any corporate job. So I feel like I'm like, do I just not want to work corporate? Like, and I do kind of want to start like making moves so I can like freelance, work for myself, which I also know has pros and cons. Like, I know. And I know corporate provides stability that some people really want, and I totally understand that. I get that too. But I feel like right now I'm young, and like there's something just like telling me in my soul, like I want flexibility so I can like travel, so I can work for people and brands that I really want to, and like on a contract freelance basis, so that I can like just like have more flexibility in my life. And it's like literally giving me anxiety. Like I woke up with such bad anxiety, and I know like the work from home is kind of flexible, but like I know that it's gonna end, so I don't want to get used to it. And I don't know, I just feel like so anxious, and it sucks. Like it really does. And I feel trapped. Like I think the idea of corporate, at least right now in my current life, makes me feel trapped. And I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, well, like this isn't forever, or oh, like, and I know that, and I understand that, but I also just feel like there's so much like also instability in the world, and like the job market, and like where to get money. But I know there's like so many ways to make money now, but it's just like I don't have time to figure that out as much if I'm working 40 hours a week, you know what I mean? And so I just am like an anxious mess, and I don't ever want to come off as ungrateful, and that's what I'm struggling with too. Like, do I have gratitude? Am I really showing gratitude and feeling guilty for that? So I'm just a fucking mess. But like, I don't know, my heart is just calling for something else, but I know I also have to use logic, so I'm just like really struggling, and I just feel a ton of pressure right now for like a lot of other things, and there's so much going on. But yeah, anyways, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Being important at work in a small team fucking sucks. And I say that as a high achiever, and I'm being really vulnerable. I am so strung out that I'm not sleeping right, that I literally have hives on the back of my shoulder right now. And that's from the stress that is just piling on. I've cried 3 times this week. It is now Wednesday, if you wanted to know. It's Wednesday, 2:30. And this is like the reality that people don't tell you. Like, yeah, don't take your corporate job seriously, but you know what? If the things that I have in flight go wrong, I get fired. That's how serious my job is right now. And so to the people that tell you that, they don't understand when your livelihood is on the line. And they also don't understand when like this is the reality of your job.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.